Okie dokie, so at this point, hopefully you have shaped your aluminium and you've drilled your holes. You have to drill your holes before you can do this next step, because you need holes. Simple as. What I'm doing now is I'm very carefully removing the masking tape off of both sides of my aluminium, because what we're going to do is we're going to rivet some polymer onto it to create a really nice little design feature. And when I say design feature, I think I may have mentioned it before, but it could be anything. It could be wings, it could be a halo, it could be horns, it could be animal ears, it could just be a funky hairstyle, it could be whatever you'd like it to be. So here we go. And then we just got to decide which one we want to be our front face and which one we want to be our back. I'm going to have this as my front just because. Now I've taken the masking tape off, however, I can feel it's a little bit sharp on the edges. So again, if you find that, what you can do is you can get yourself a file and strike the edges like a match just to remove that sharpness. Much, much better. So don't rush this. If you take the masking tape off, you're like, oh, that's a bit sharp. Oh, no, I'll do the riveting first. No. Do this first. It just makes life a lot easier. The last thing you want to do is do filing when you've got riveting and stuff attached to it, because it just means you can accidentally go into those features. And don't forget to do both sides. There we go. And you're probably like, oh God, why doesn't she just pause this and skip to it? You know, like they did in like Blue Peter years ago, which I've just realised you won't know what Blue Peter is. But I want to show you how these things look in real time. That's why I don't skip steps in my videos. I want to show you what they look. I just realised I can't see. I want to show you what they look like in real time, so you know what to expect lengthwise. Here we go, a little bit more. Perfect. Much, much better. Excellent. So, rivets. What are rivets? Rivets are these. They look like little swords, but they're not little swords. They are little bits of aluminium. And what happens is you place your rivet into your material. So, for example, your aluminium here, like so. And then you use a rivet gun to pull on this rod. And what it will do is it will bring the top of the rivet down. It will pull it down, and then it will hold a material securely. So these are rivets. This is not a finished piece, but these are rivets here, look. So you can see how it's been dragged through. It's created that like awful domey effect. We're going to use a hammer to flatten that out though, so don't you worry. So before I can actually use the rivet, I need a design. This is where this comes in. We have got a selection of different polymers, different plastics of different colours, so you can create yourself a funky little hairdo, like I've said earlier. You can use, I say as much or as little as you want, ideally not, you know, your teacher will tell you, But anyway, I've got this for a reason. I can't just get the polymer and stick it to the top. I've got to rivet it, which means I've got to make sure that my piece of polymer will reach the holes that I've drilled. So say this is my hairstyle that I want to do. I want to create that hairstyle for my monster. What I've then got to add on the back is a tab, an extra piece of polymer, an extra piece of plastic that ensures that it will go over the holes that I have drilled. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in case you're sat there going, what? This is a funky hairstyle that I did earlier. Don't ask me what it is. It's just a funky hairstyle. And it's got a massive tab. It's got a load of excess. That's because when I overlap the two like so, I can guarantee that the polymer is going to cover the holes that I have drilled. So that is why you need to add a special little tab to make sure that you won't miss the polymer, because similar to, where are my keys? So with this design that a student made me, you can see here that they did not use the tab efficiently enough, and so it just ripped because it was too close to the edge. It didn't actually fully cover the polymer, so it's just ripped over time, which is a shame, which is why you want to make sure it fully covers, like on this side here. So before I can use the rivet gun and the rivet itself, I need to put some holes in the polymer, because obviously the rivet at the moment, it's not going to go through. So I need to put a couple holes. I'm going to use a pen. she says. And I'm just going to make a couple dots. So I know exactly where I'm going to put some holes, and I'm going to go fetch a very special tool. Okay, so I told you that there was a fancy machine device that would punch holes in this polymer that we're using for our monsters, and it's this thing. It's called a hole punch, and it works exactly like a hole punch that you'd see in, for paper, but this is designed to go through fabrics, leathers, and also it can go through small, thin polymers. So all you need to do is mark on your polymer where your hole needs to go, and you would ideally do that by layering your monster on top and marking the holes that you've already drilled. You then get your hole punch, place the grey punch over that mark and squeeze very, very tightly. You hopefully will hear a little click. Give it a little bit of a wiggle, 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 and then there. It doesn't look like much, but that has in fact created a hole, and that is big enough for the rivet to go through. So that's how you put your hole in your polymer. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to take my rivet. Where the flat side is of the rivet, that is the side that will leave this lovely, neat edge, not this monstrosity that you see before you. So that flat edge there, that looks a bit like the top of a mushroom. If you want that to be on the front, you need to place it on the front. So I'm going to stab it into the eye of my monster, and I'm going to make sure it goes through the eye, and I'm going to make sure it goes through my polymer, my plastic. I'm going to clear my workspace. I'm now going to get the fun bit, which is the rivet gun. This is a very, very fiddly process. You might need someone to help you. That's not a problem at all. Plenty of people in the room. It might be secured together. Just squeeze the handle and release the catch, and there we go. How a rivet gun works, if I just zoom out so you can definitely see, how a rivet gun works is you place the end of the rivet, when I say the end, this long end here, you place that into the spout of the rivet gun, and then you squeeze the handle, and that's going to draw that spout into the gun, and it's going to create a mushroom effect on the back. However, these have a very wide span to them. I can't even get my hand to reach. So what you might want to do is place the bottom handle on the bench and use that as leverage. So then I'm then going to press down on the handle, lift the handle all the way back up, put it back down on the bench, press down again, lift the handle all the way back up, put the handle on the bench, press down again. Hey, there we go. And now when I release the handle, the spout bit is going to pop out. Straight in the bin. Go straight in the bin. We don't need to keep that. And if I look on the back, huzzah! It's got my polymer in place. So I'm going to do the next one. I want this bit to be showing, this top bit here. So I'm going to stab that through the eye. Sorry, monster. You'll forgive me. You'll look beautiful, I promise. Here we go. Stab, stab, stab. Excellent. Goes all the way through. Put the long spout of the rivet into the nozzle of the gun, like so. I'm using the table to put the bottom of the handle, and then I'm going to try and do it at an angle so you can see better. And then I'm going to squeeze the handle together, fully release the handle. You must fully release the handle. Squeeze again, fully release the handle, squeeze again, fully release the handle. Keep going. Boosh. It's quite a violent finish. There you go. Once again, straight in the bin, we don't need that. That has now created our rivets, and is holding our aluminium and our polymer together. I said that we can flatten these though, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to use the back of a metal vise. Has to be a metal vise. If you do it on a wood vise or on my benches, you're just going to create a large amount of dents. I'm then going to get my hammer. Very, very carefully, I'm going to tap it. Now, I say very carefully because my thumb was quite close. Very, very carefully. But, huzzah, my little monster. There you go. Don't know what this is, but it's pretty. You can layer up the polymer. I don't know if I said that. Excellent. So what I could do now is I can get some vinyl stickers. Draw on the back, cut it out like a regular sticker, peel it off, stick it straight onto the aluminium to create some extra little features like a mouth or ears, whatever you want, and then add a split ring to through the hole to create an actual key ring. But there you go. That's how you create your monster.